Hello, and welcome to our today's discussion. Today we talk about how to support a grieving person. I'm sure all of us have encountered a friend or someone out there who has gone through a major loss. It can be loss of property, loss of something that they regarded special, loss of a loved one through death, or even lost through some illnesses, whether it is terminal or it is just a short-time illness. So long as that person is experiencing loss, they need support. Now, a person who experiences loss goes through a process of grieving, and a process of grieving involves very, very heavy emotions. And today we look at how to support this person, because I have heard from very many people always feeling they are not in a position to support someone who has gone through loss. And I do agree it's not easy. But today we can discuss a few ways that would help someone who is going through the process of grieving. How does the process of grieving look like? The person who is going through grief and experiences different type of emotions, most of which are negative and very heavy. And this is what makes the process of grieving complex. And the person who is there willing to support doesn't know exactly what to do. And people keep asking, what is it that I'm supposed to tell them? I didn't call them because I didn't know what to tell them. I didn't go because I had no words to share. And today I want to break it down. When you are supporting someone who is going through the process of grief, it is not about what you tell them. It is not about the words you give them. Number one way of supporting a grieving person is be there. Be present for them. They need someone to accompany them to some place, be there. They need someone to be just there for them and, just be there. See them. Just feel that they are surrounded. They are not alone. Just being there is one way of healing the person that is grieving, because they feel we are not alone in the world. Remember, grief comes with such emotions that I am alone. I'm the only one who is experiencing this one. No one understands me. While some of those things may be true, presence of a friend or a loved one would help this person begin the process, or at least move through the process well. Way number two of supporting a grieving person is listen. Listen to them cry, listen to them talk, listen to them in silence. Because there are moments of silence when the person doesn't want to talk, they don't want to say anything, they feel like saying nothing, then allow them, just be there and listen to their silence. Let them know it's okay for them to feel like not talking, but you're just there for them. Just listen to their silence. Listen to them crying and allow yourself to be comfortable in their crying. Let them cry if they want to cry. Let them scream if they want to. Let them talk if they want to. Listen to them. Listen, and listen again. Now, one of the things that challenges the listener is that feeling of this person has said too much. They are still talking about it. They have cried for too long. Remember, it is their process and not yours. Allow them to experience their process as they are experiencing it. So listen whichever way they want you to do. Way number three of supporting a grieving person. Allow this person to ask questions. A person who is going through grief will ask questions about themselves, about the loss, about the person they lost, about the property they lost, about the people involved in the property they lost, about the doctors in the hospital who are taking care of a loved one, about the friends who were supposed to be there and were not there. They will ask questions about God, and in asking questions, most of the time actually they will be angry. Allow them to ask questions. As you allow them to ask questions, know that you do not have answers. Because if someone asks, why did God allow this to happen? Surely you do not know. So you do not attempt to answer. Just tell them it's okay to ask questions. Ask as many as you can. Ask them so that you can get them out of your system. Ask them out so that you can find relief. Just ask. I do not have answers as well, but I am here listening. So it's okay to ask. Are they asking about God? Do not feel uncomfortable. God listens and he knows what the people are going through. So it is not in your part to feel like, so why are you asking God? Allow them to ask. Asking is good for their healing. So let them ask, and ask some more. Just be there to listen and to help them know it's okay to ask. Even when they demand answers, do not attempt to answer. Why? Because most of the times when you answer, you might hurt them. Imagine like someone who's asking, so why would a loving God allow me to suffer like this? And then you're telling them because God allows the people he loves to suffer. And then it may lead to many other questions that you might be defeated to answer. At that point of pain, someone does not understand normal answers. Someone may not understand the way of thinking of a normal person because they are thinking from a point of pain. Allow them to ask, but it is very important not to attempt to answer because your answers may hurt them or they may lead to many other questions and confusion within them. Just allow them to ask questions. Let the person grieve their way. You know, different people look at the process of grieving differently. If someone doesn't feel like crying or they feel like doing is talking, let them talk. If they feel like just crying, let them cry. Do not force them to talk. If they feel like screaming and rolling, so long as they are not hurting themselves, allow them to scream and roll. That is their way of grieving. If someone feels like just being there and do things with their head, with their toes, because people do different things, allow them to do them. That is their process. Let them do it as they experience it. The only place you can come in and help someone to stop doing is if they are hurting themselves. If they pick a knife or something that would definitely hurt them, then at that point you are allowed to stop them because your purpose of supporting them is so that they can be better, not so that they can be worse. But so long as they are not hurting themselves, allow themselves to grieve just their way. It is their process again. Allow them to do their way. The other part is be patient with a grieving person. Some people grieve for months, some grieve for years, some grieve for days, whichever way a person decides to grieve. Even when you feel their grief, yours was larger than theirs, you cannot tell them, you know what, I overcame in a span of 1 week. In 2 weeks, I was perfectly fine. That is your experience. And because you are a different person, and probably the resources you had and the ones they have are totally different. So allow people to grieve their way. Don't tell them the way people move on after 2 days. Don't tell them the way people move on after 3 days. Don't tell them the way they have lingered there too long. Support them. By supporting them, they are able to continue with their process and finish. Do not direct people out to do it. Give them their own space and be patient with them. And most of the time, because of the anger that comes with the process of grieving, someone can even ask you, go away and never come back. Just let them know, especially if they are close to you, loved ones or even friends, let them know you will respect leaving, but should they want to talk to you, then it's okay. It is you that is in a good space, so allow them to experience their emotions, and should they need you back, do not hold offense. Understand that grief comes with very many mixed emotions. And I know I have heard people argue that someone was pretending in grief, but grief is already such a heavy process. You may not be in a position to judge a person so long as they are grieving. And People grieve differently and for different reasons. Some people will separate or lose a marriage and they will be able to move on very fast. Others will grieve for years. If someone is grieving, it's because what they experienced was meaningful to them. So allow them to go through their own process and support them through their process. If you can help a person go through grief, then you're helping a friend or a loved one to be a more healthier and a more productive individual. I wish you a supportive month, a supportive week, and a supportive lifetime process.